Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today, we're going to be looking at a video about future technology that is nearly upon us. Brain implants. Elon Musk has his company called Neuralink. I'm sure the Chinese government have something similar in place, ready to insert into your brain. We live in dangerous times at the moment. We live in unprecedented times, and we exist. We live here on Earth, but we exist on the internet. Okay, and the internet is a new country, a new world where we are all interconnected, and pretty soon we'll be connected 24/7. Once these brains are implanted into our heads, all it will take is some government legislation to come along and make it mandatory, and you know all your thoughts can be read by by your governments. There'll be no more privacy left. Privacy will be a thing of the past. And they'll still let you be like, it will minimize crimes, murders, preempted murders before it actually happens. Terrorist attacks, you name it, all these crimes will go. But then, as a consequence, also all privacy goes out the window. So let's see what these guys have to say. And this isn't. It's going to happen to 99% of humanity, but there'll be a small subset that this doesn't apply to, and that is the elites. And the only way to not be part of the masses who get enslaved, you need to become an elite yourself. The best way to do it by far is by becoming famous. And the way I advocate for is be a subject matter expert. It's the easiest, it's the safest, and really the quickest way as well, because you don't. It's not even being the ultimate expert. It's showing consistent progress along the way. So if you decide that I reckon if you was to work diligently, if you was to be consistent, you could make it within 2 to 3 years. And the journey, what it looks like, is in the beginning, the first 6 months, you'll be documenting your progress every day, and then taking on the mindset of someone who is on the journey of becoming a subject matter expert. And as your knowledge progresses, your confidence grows as well, and your charisma increases each day because you're documenting your findings. And because you'll be sticking a camera in front of you for, let's say, 5, 10 minutes every day, saying, "Oh, today this is my learning." Um, you look back on your video and be like, "Oh, actually, do you know what? If my voice was a little bit louder, if I was to slow down my talk, if I was to pause here, or instead of using this type of word, I use another word instead." Your charisma keeps on increasing. Within 6 months' time, you would have maxed out your charisma. In 6 months' time, you would have gained a base knowledge in whatever field you are interested in, whatever your passion is. Um, you would have you'll be comfortable speaking in front of camera within 6 months, and you would have gained a small following along within 6 months. And that following will give you confidence to carry this pursuit on. The next step after that, the following 6 months, is once you get to that first level. Is so first of all, you change really you restructure your internal way of viewing the world. You sharpen your skills, and then you can really attack and maximize what you've already built the first 6 months, and start making money, and increasing your audience. And then the next 12 months, basically, you're just making money now. At this point, you keep getting better and better and better. And at the end of 2 years, you would have made a nice chunk of money, right? You'll be on your way to being a millionaire. You would have consistent, you know, at least 100K you'll be making within 2 years. And then after that, the next step is for you to become a multimillionaire, and your fame will ever increase at the end of 3 years. Then after 3 years, you would have a platform for you to really attack, become one of the top elite people in your chosen field, become famous, um, and join the elites, and you'll be seen as a king. You'll have the best opportunities in life. People would want to follow you. People would want to be your friend, give you business opportunities, pay to be in the same room as you, to listen to your opinion. You know, isn't that the life you want? Isn't that something you feel like, you know, within 2 years I could be making 100K? You know, and this is if you're starting from zero. If you already have, you know, imagine if you're a lecturer at some university, or you're a school teacher and you teach history, for example. Like, you're already miles ahead. For you, maybe the learning curve will be 12 months and you'll be making six figures within a year. So it's it isn't difficult. It's just, do you have the balls to do it? You know, are you willing to go on this journey, fail at first? You know, the first 6 months a little bit clunky, but once you get a smooth rhythm, and you understand where your strengths lie, how to maximize your charisma, you're really on your way to joining the elites. And then you can choose whether to have a brain implant or not. And you know, you'll be able to, you know, you won't be controlled by government. You can be your own sovereign individual and have that freedom that only a king can ever experience. So let's we're watching Joe Rogan today and his friends talk about brain implant.
The Joe Rogan.
And that impulse that he talks about is a human impulse sometimes. You know, if you was to feel anger, if you felt like your life was in danger, and imagine you just had that thought, oh, okay, like I need to save myself, and to do this I have to get into a physical confrontation with someone. And then just because you have this brain implant in your head, just because you had that thought, you could get arrested for that. You might never act on the actual thing, but now that you had that thought, you are a danger to society. You know, to save yourself from this oncoming enslavement, which is what it basically is, you really need to you need a lot of money. You need a protection which only fame and notoriety can buy. And the easiest way to do it, you know, you don't have to go around, make an OnlyFans, show your fucking arsehole online. You don't have to do prank videos. You know, you don't have to do nothing stupid, nothing fancy. Literally, just like get your phone out and start recording yourself on the subject that is of interest to you. You know, and then it won't feel like work either. Then every day becomes very easy. You'll be motivated. You know, when these people talk about endless motivation, you know, or David Goggins talks about discipline. This is discipline. You know, like I come on here and I chat to you guys. This isn't work for me, right? It is work, but to me, it feels, it's very easy. It feels like play. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I show you continuous progress along the way. And the reason why I'm doing this, right, is like, because there's 9 billion people in the world. Okay, now I can't go around speaking to 9 billion people just to find the few people who are on the same wavelength as me, right? So what I decided to do was, this is my, you know, back call. You know, I'm I'm sh- I'm sending the signal out to the universe, and the few like-minded people who watch this, who think that, you know, I like what this guy is saying. I like the cut of his jib. um, they'll understand what I'm trying to do here. You know, I'm trying to collect like 100 people who are on the same wavelength as me. And once I find these 100 people, right, I will show them the path to being famous, being someone who's well respected, having a following, um, someone that is looked upon as a king, right? Because I am obviously a king, and you know, I don't want to be friends with other peasants. I'd rather be friends with kings such as yourself. But we have to sometimes, you know, we have to bring that out of you, okay? And we'll raise you up. We'll get you a following. You'll become famous on the internet. Yeah, and and you'll be able to make a lot of money that way. And then once you're a king and I'm a king, naturally, just there's a friendship already there. The fact that we already helped each other, and then when we have 100 of these people, then we'll be the ruling class. Do you get what I mean? We have that friendship, we have that bond. We'll be loyal to one another, and because loyalty and friendship is really lacking in today's society. People don't trust each other. You can't trust the government. You can't trust the people around you. I mean, the nonsense from 2020 really showed you. You might have had the best friends before, and then they all go and call you a crazy conspiracy theorist because you didn't want to take the old. Or maybe you did, and you got duped into it, and now you regret it, thinking like, oh, actually, that was a pretty dangerous decision to make. You know, whatever your feelings are towards it, it's like, right, lessons have been learned, and from this moment we can progress. But it's if you think what I'm saying is crazy or not in the realms of reality, is you're literally sleepwalking into enslavement. Lions, bears, tigers, gorillas. These were the apex predators on Earth. They're much bigger than humans, but humans were able to cage these animals up, drive them to the brink of extinction because we were much smarter. We had the capabilities of high intelligence, communication, and strategic planning. AI will do all those things, but 100 times more efficient than a human can possibly do. Okay, what chance have we got? We are going to be the next caged animals. We ruled for the last however many thousands of years on Earth, but our time is nearly up. And to save yourself, you know, if you desire to save yourself, if you believe, that there is some that you understand what I'm saying, that there is some truth here. You have to become rich, you have to become famous, and you have to join the elites. And because we are people with honor, with good values, we care about humanity. We will become the elites. We will become the ruling class, but we'll make better decisions, more ethical decisions for the humans of Earth. You know, I my heart really I don't like to see injustice in the world. I'm a true believer that everyone deserves a fair chance. But you have to be willing to take that chance. And if you think that, again, if you understand what I'm saying, and there's only a few people, most of the people listening to this, they won't understand what I'm saying. Okay, but if you are one of the very few people that does understand, that this makes sense to, then I suggest you go to royalinstinct.com and arrange a meeting to see if there is a match here, if we can in some way help each other to accomplish our goals. And then I'm sure if we can, if there is something that's of mutual benefit to us, that there'll be a long lasting friendship, and we'll battle side by side next to each other in the future wars to come.
Are you a good person if you resist?
That film, Minority Report, I think it came out in 2001, I believe. 2001, yeah. I must have been 13 years old. And I mean, when we were watching that film, like, the early 2000s, the world was so different. And to be here now in 2024 and be talking about the possibilities of what AI can do, virtual reality, the metaverse. Even the internet was around back then, but the capabilities of the internet today, smartphones and all this shit, it's like it was, you would have never dreamt of it. And that was 24 years ago, 23 years ago. And the advancements you're going to see in the next 5 years is going to blow your mind. And within a decade from now, it's like society won't be recognizable anymore. The old ways of doing things, of making money, of working, they're going to go out the window within the next 5 to 10 years. I feel sorry for you if you're a teenager now, if you're like 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever. You're off to college, or you're hoping to pursue some sort of education. It's like, like, is your job even going to be around in 5 years from now? You don't know that. Some AI technology might come along that can do it much cheaper, much more efficient, much quicker than you, and there'll be no need for whatever skill you're deciding to learn. That's why you have to become a subject matter expert, because the benefit of that is you learn the but the ins and outs of the subject that you're interested in, and then what a human can do right now that AI can't is, it has the capability of hypothesizing what the world will look like. Okay, so, and what I mean by that is you'll be able to, because you understand the subject, you'll be able to become a thought leader and lead and guide um the next phase of whatever subject that you're interested in. For example, if you were into um, plastic surgery, right? Um, in the future, plastic surgeons, actually learning how to do incisions, do all that shit, you know, it's going to be redundant, because some sort of technology will come along that can do it much more efficiently, much more precise. There won't be no wobble, no of the shape, of the hand. If the surgeon has an off day, the machine will still be able to do it. Um, and but if you're a expert in your field, right, you get to oversee how the technology is implemented, right? That is going to be the next phase of humanity. It's going to be the management of this technology, and those jobs, that there's only a handful of them left. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need thousands of experts. You only need just a couple, right, who really understand the subject. And the thing is that there's so many areas and niches in life that you can choose to be the expert in, and it will, most people are lazy. They're never going to do it. They are too preoccupied with their own negative thoughts, um with their own inhibitions, with their own negative self-talk that's holding them back, that they will never ever be able to accomplish anything, really. That's why I'm not too fussed about having like 1 million followers, or having everyone come and join the mentorship, because it takes a certain type of person, right, to be able to even implement, or dare to do what I'm suggesting. It's very easy, in my opinion, but it's you know the type of person that has the capabilities of implementing it, is there aren't many of them around. And the type of person is someone who is a leader, who sees themselves as a leader, who sees themselves as a king. you know I took that 16 personality test online. I forgot what the organization is, but I took that a couple of years ago, and my results were, I am an ENTJ, which is the commander personality type. And I thought that makes sense. I've always, whatever I've done in my life, I've always ended up being part of the leadership group, being the leader myself. I've experience in managing a big group of people. I was captain of my dance team, where I think one year we had about 24 dancers in that team, and managing those dynamics, leading those people to a common goal. I found it very easy. I found it very fulfilling. It just makes sense that I would do something like that. And then, when I got those results, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That the test will say that about me. And then, I'm looking around right now in the world. It's 2024, and then I was thought, you know what, like, all I want is I just want to marry one girl, have some kids, have a decent job, go on holiday for a few times a year, and I'll be happy. And the world is so fucked right now that I look around and I'm just like, well, who's going to sort it out? Okay, which politician's going to come and change the policies for a better tomorrow? You know, I want kids, but are my kids gonna have a good life in the future? I live here in the UK, and it looks like we're just taking on. I'm a product of immigration. You know what I mean? Like my parents were immigrants, but I'm just like, do we need any more immigrants? Like it looks like the population that we have, we can't even manage right now. And the politicians aren't the leaders. Then I looked online. I was like, let me find some mentors online who can help me. And overall, like I was a bit disappointed. I was like, okay, you know, let's do something. Let's build something together. And it's just like, they sell you every course under the sun, and then it's like, if it fails, it's your own fault for being stupid. I'm all right, great. So I wasn't really happy with what I found online. I looked around my friends. I was like, look, this shit's going on in the world. What do you think? And they were just ready to roll over, spread their ass cheeks, and take it up the ass. And I was like, don't you want some sovereignty, some freedom? And most people, they don't give a fuck about their freedoms. Um, and then I thought, do you know what? If no one else is gonna fucking do it, then it has to be me, right? I've got the personality type to do it. I've got the temperament. And then I was like, well, I can't just do it alone. Right? Just one man by himself. It's like, an army of one isn't going to get nowhere. And and I'm not looking for an all-out war, a physical war. This is going to be a financial and psychological war where we have to rise to the top. We have to get out the bucket full of crabs. We have to get out there and become the policy changers. We have to be on top, right? We are the future leaders, the people that I want to work with, you know. And if I could just get 100 of us together, like, don't you think me, you, and 98 other people, if we're all on the same page, we all have the same ambition, we all become multi-millionaires and billionaires. We all have large followings, become famous. We become the celebrities in the world, right? But we all have this goal of making the world a better place instead of just, yeah, let's just keep milking our fan base for money, right? Isn't that a better strategy? Like, who do you trust more in the world than yourself, right? Can you even trust your parents? Can you even trust your governments, your school teachers, your friends? I'm not sure. I'm looking for, just 100 trustworthy people who are willing to back the fight, and really take over the world. And you know, you might laugh when I say this. I'll take over the world, yeah. But if you don't do it, who else is going to be the hero? Who else is going to be the savior of world of this reality?
Now it's like the World Economic Forum guy was saying that they won't have to have elections in the future.
There you go. The World Economic Forum, right? The big conspiracy. They're openly saying that no, you're not even going to get to vote in the future. We'll handle that. So they'll put in place whoever they think is the most competent to do it. The people that are already running aren't fucking competent, and now they're going to put in their own people and tell you this is the best candidate. And if you say, "Oh, actually, I don't think they'll," just unplug you, and then you just thrown to the side to fend for yourself. We've already lost the ability to farm. Most of us, we've lost the ability to. Most people can't even fucking change a light bulb without any assistance. Most people, like, what would happen if you had a leak to your plumbing, right? Most people can't do this type of shit. They can't fend for themselves. So you have to be the leader that the world needs, because otherwise, like, no one else is going to come to save you. I mean, yeah, they're already spying on us. They're already spying on us, right? Like, I'm sure the government's listening into to me and you talking here. Yeah, them listening into my podcast. Like, hey, what's up? Um, we can't run away. You know, you're not going to live off the grid. You're not going to live in some cabin. The only option you have is become famous, become someone who's worth knowing, become someone who can escape this. You know, all the money's going to go to the elites. All the money's going to go to the famous people. You know, if you don't have a group of friends, if you don't have a following, if you don't have the ability to make money, which you won't very soon because AI will take your job, whatever it is, right? There's only going to be a handful of people. It's only going to be the elites running around, you know. And even if there are jobs, right, and you're qualified to do it, right, but no one knows who the fuck you are, and you know, Klaus Schwab's got a granddaughter, you know, who thinks, oh, I like the sound of doing that, you know, he'll put her in, right? He'll put her as a, you know, a foreign ambassador that you could have been, right? You know, you spent your whole life learning how to speak, you know, Mandarin. You've spent your whole life learning Chinese politics. You've embedded yourself in the culture, and then you know Klaus Schwab's daughter comes along and takes your job just because you know of nepotism. Nepotism means when you get favors or job roles because you're related to or you know the person doing the hiring. You know, there's only going to be so many jobs left, and if you can't produce any value in society, you know, the elites will see you as a waste of space. You're just wasting oxygen, and they will just get rid of you very quickly. To save yourself, to save your loved ones, the only option that I see is viable is become famous, become a subject matter expert, create value in the world, and you know, be the leader that the world needs. Because once you're famous, people will just because you have a following, they would have to listen to you, right? Because other people see you as the leader, so they have to take you serious. It's just how it goes.
The message was made in a strictly private environment between the accused and his friend. You know, and you're a signal.
Gotta be careful.
You have to use.
Yeah, you can't even make jokes anymore, right? I mean, when you say out loud, you know, it's a very, it's not the most tasteful joke. You know, I'm going to go blow up an airport or I'm part of the Taliban, some sort of shit. It's not the best joke, right? When you hear it secondhand, but you know, it's a quick laugh. It's a silly little fun thing you can do with a friend, right? You can't even make those jokes anymore, right? People get too offended. There's too many risks involved. Like we're playing a high stakes game where the world is so interconnected, and all it will take is one bad agent, you know. And we've already seen with 9/11 that it is possible, right? That terrorist attacks did happen in the world. We have a very famous example of it. So now we live in a world where you can't think for yourself, where you can't have any privacy. You can't you won't be able to work, you won't be able to earn, you won't be able to choose your leaders. You're literally just sitting there like a dummy, waiting to be told what to do. And the one thing that humans had about themselves, or the humanity or the human spirit that can see us through adversity, is our ability to deal with tough situations with humor. And now you're saying humor has disappeared because it might be interpreted as a threat to national security. It's bullshit. You know, and just on that point, it's apparently I watched a documentary why there's so many good Jewish comedians, and because of the Holocaust and the traumatic events and the hardships that they endured. One way to deal with it was through humor, and then they kind of had this tradition of you know, making jokes all the time, making things lighthearted. Because yeah, if you're in a fucking concentration camp, if you're in a jail cell, you know, how much can you cry? Like, do you know what I mean? As bad as the situation might be, you have to make light of it. You kind of have to have that ability to laugh at yourself, to laugh at the situation. Just, you know, because laughter produces serotonin, which are happy chemicals, and oxytocin, right? So you have to force yourself to laugh just so you can get some positive energy going in your body, and not just decay there rotting in a cell. So anyway, that's enough for today. Again, you know, these things sound crazy, right? That there's going to be a chip inside your brain and reading your thoughts, possibly controlling you, telling you what to think, what to say. If that's the world that you want to be part of, if great, you know, more power to you. But if you feel like, you know, you were destined for more, if you feel like you were put on this earth to do something special, you know, we are at the end here, and we'll need strong leaders to bring humanity to a better place. If that sounds like something that you feel like is your destiny, then I suggest you go to royalinstinct.com. You know, join me, join the army that I'm building, the army of kings, and you know, we'll be fighting that good fight together, side by side. And at least, you know, no matter what, at least we tried, you know, and that's all we can at this moment hope for. But until next time, this is Royal Instinct.